Guys, good afternoon. It's just a few seconds before 4 p.m. on Monday, the 4th of December 2023. This is week 35 of year 1, week 35, I suppose I should say, of what will be roughly an 8-year fire journey. So, just having a look at the market here. As you can see, the market is open. The change for today, as things stand, down about 1/5%. Actually, pretty much unchanged from this time last week as well. And you can see the value of the investment, the theoretical portfolio as it stands, 11,200 odd, up almost 7.3% on investment. And if we look at the candlesticks, let's see if I can exaggerate that as much as possible. Okay, that's as much as I can actually stretch that. And as you can see, there's very little happening there at all. We did have the little red one. That's kind of switched to a little blue one, but it is showing very little change at all at the current time. Let's have a quick look at the notifications. Spotify up 9% as the CEO plans to cut 1,500 jobs. It'd be interesting to know if you use Spotify, what do you think of it? Personally, I used to use it a lot more than I do now, but I only ever had a free account on it. I used to say the adverts on Spotify are a lot better than the ones on the radio, so I actually didn't mind hearing the advertising on Spotify. More recently, the last couple of times I've tried to use it, I've had difficulty actually getting it to play a song that I was looking for in its entirety or something like that. And I just didn't find the user experience, at least for a free account, just as good as what it used to be. Difficult to know, is that going to affect people's willingness to sign up? Certainly it doesn't encourage me more than the way it used to be. The way it used to be, you were able to hear a song. I'm talking about on PC, by the way. You could listen to a song. You could probably go to another one, hear them in their entirety. The quality was good. Adverts were, as I say, probably better than on the radio, in my view. But if you can only hear part of the songs now, I personally have kind of drifted away from Spotify. Maybe that's what they want to do. They want to discourage freeloaders. But rather than be more likely to sign up, I'm actually more likely to go and listen to something on YouTube if I want to hear some music, or elsewhere. So personally, if it was me, I would put it back the way it used to be, but that's just my opinion. Uber up 6% on S&P 500 inclusion set for the 18th of December. So Uber Technologies, not just Uber the sort of taxi service, but Uber Technologies, which I assume has to do with the platform and that sort of thing, going to be included on the S&P 500. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. There was some suggestion recently in the press in the UK that some certainly food delivery companies, and of course Uber Eats would be part of that mix, had allegedly been employing illegal immigrants or asylum seekers to the UK. And I'm not sure just how they've been able to do that without providing their identity documents and so on. And obviously they must have some sort of a bank account, I assume, if they're able to receive payment. But yeah, I don't know. Uber is a very new company to my mind. Just anyway, there's 500 odd companies in the S&P 500, roughly, and it is self-cleansing. So if Uber performs well, they'll do well. If they don't, they'll fall off again, and they'll be replaced with something even better. Coinbase up 7%. Bitcoin soars past 40,000 to a 19-month high. Okay. If anybody can tell me why any crypto must increase in value, I would be very interested to hear your logic. As I see it, cryptocurrency is nothing more than another currency and should be regarded therefore as foreign exchange. And I see no reason to, other than to do with the change in trading agreements or something like that, I can really not see any reason to say that, say the dollar should increase in value compared to the pound or vice versa. As far as I see, it is a constantly fluctuating thing, and the idea of crypto leaves me even less, gives me even less of a warm fuzzy feeling inside. I suppose because with the crypto, for many of them, you cannot go and spend them without converting them back into, another currency. I mean, this idea here, what it says here, Coinbase pops 7% as Bitcoin soars past $40,000. Well, what that means is that relative to US dollars, Bitcoin is up 7%. But what's it relative? What is it? What's the change relative to other currencies? Surely there are other currencies where that's not the case. Where in fact maybe the other currency is performing better. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, what we're looking at here is the Bitcoin to US dollar pair. And that's the only pair that's being quoted there. So yeah, I'm just not convinced. I can understand where you've got a company, let's say like Virgin Galactic. It says here it's down 11% as Richard Branson rules out further investment. Okay, so you can understand why ruling out further investment is causing a bit of a price fall. That's not an optimistic signal, and it's where I suppose let's take an ordinary company, Paramount. If that's the movie producer, right? Let's say it's the movie producer. Well, I can understand why their share price must go up if basically their costs are less than they need to run the company plus profit. Then naturally that means that over time the company becomes more valuable, and therefore the price should go up. So that makes sense to me. The crypto does not. But as I say, if you know why, if you can explain it, please set out your logic in the comments. So Paramount is in discussions for a bundling streaming services rather with Apple. To be honest, to me that sounds as though Apple has designs on acquiring Paramount more than anything else, but that's just my opinion. UiPath, I don't actually know what that is, but they're up 21%. That's quite a jump. I would be a little bit reluctant to think that is likely to be sustained, but it could. Ulta Beauty pops 10% on raised revenue, forecast a new CFO announcement. I have never heard of that company. What is it? Let's find out. Before we do, Marvel Technology down 6% on declining revenue and underwhelming guidance. I'm not sure what Marvel Technology is either, but I'm just curious about this Ulta Beauty because I haven't heard of that at all. But am I going to be able to search for it? Doesn't look like it. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. We'll take a new tab, we'll paste it in, and we'll see what we get. Holiday deals are here. Makeup, fragrance. Okay, so here's a Wikipedia entry. That's bound to be that's bound to be credible. Formerly known as Ulta Salon Cosmetics and Fragrance Inc., and before 2000 as Ulta 3, is an American chain of beauty stores. Okay. So that being the case, I don't really understand why they're talking about holiday beauty day. Oh, I see. Okay, so they're talking holiday. They mean presumably that was to do with Thanksgiving, or else it's to do with Christmas or something. Okay, there you go. So we've had a little look to see about Ulta. Marvel Technology. Let's look it up as well. Why not? Might as well. It's always good to find out these things. Now, what have I done? Whatever I've done wasn't the right thing, but let's move to a new tab and we'll paste it in. Let's see what we get. Marvel Technology is an American company headquartered in Santa Clara, which develops and produces semiconductors and related technology. Founded in 1995, the company had more than 7,000 employees as of 2023. With over 10,000 patents worldwide and an annual revenue of 5.9 billion. Yeah, so semiconductors in a word. Sorry, I'm still waiting for the page to load here. Let me just give it another little kick, see if it will see if it would like to play ball for me. You never know. If it doesn't, that will be pretty damn awful. But not a lot I can do either way. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I tell you what, we'll give it another wait. Sometimes I find patience to be useful. Saying that, patience can run thin. Right, let's copy that. Let's exit the page and let's go to a new tab. Sometimes I will come back to that tab, but sometimes I find a new tab seems to work better than an old tab. I don't really know why. It doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me, but I think it might have something to do with cached files and that sort of thing. Not sure. I am purely speculating in saying that. But the fact that we've got what I like to call the Knight Rider bar flipping back and forth here, that gives me some confidence. Not an awful lot, but some. Oh dear. We've only got 15 minutes to go until the end of the trading for the day. We do not want a bar flipping back and forth and no page. That would not be good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do. This is starting to look better. Okay. Thank goodness for that. Right, so we were in the notifications. That's funny, they still look on red, even though they're not on red. So yeah, we just looked at Marvel Technology. They are a semiconductor company. What did I say? They're down 6% or something? Yeah, down 6%. I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, there was a whole thing about semiconductors and the fact of not being able to get them during COVID and all this stuff. And then I'm assuming a lot of people threw a lot of money into trying to ramp up their production pretty damn quick. Which is all well and good if you've got the demand for it, but obviously demand past a certain point is going to be saturated. Once you do that, then you start to put oversupply into the market. You oversupply the market, the price is going to fall, and if there's too many competitors, there'll ultimately be a bit of a rationalization as the market picks between them. So yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised at that at all. Let's get on and put in our weekly £120 worth of investment into the Vanguard S&P 500 exchange traded fund. As you know, this is shown here on the Trading 212 practice platform. And our £120 of investment today is going to buy us roughly 1 3/4 shares. Let's send that through and hope it executes before anything else nasty happens. Waiting. Oh, there we go. So we did get 1.751 shares of VUSA. And those were at 68. Was it 50 or 53? I missed the last. 53. £68.53. And the figures on the right have updated miraculously. So now you can see our current portfolio value is 11,332. We are up 7.25% on investment. And guys, you probably noticed the other tab sitting here. Now, I do realise that this is difficult to make out unless you're looking at it on a TV or something. But this is the website that goes along with the Fire Journey. And the website, you can find the link within the YouTube channel. But if you want to go directly to it, it's soft.uk.free.fr. Okay, so a rather unusual web address I give you, but nevertheless, soft.uk.free.fr. Okay, that takes you to the home page. Then if we look at the resources link on the left, within that you'll see there's one called Fire on Band 2, and it has brackets Excel after it. And guys, that is the Excel sheet that I had done up quite some time ago, and it allows us to see what the forecast would be, should be, and to basically compare where we're at present to where we want to be. So as I say, this is year 1, week 35, and the portfolio value there 11,332, if you remember that, 11,332, and year 1, week 35. So these figures here, this is actually based on what is this? This is a forecast for somebody that is working at NHS Band 2. the net income comes from that web address. That's maybe out of date by now, but that's what we were working with at the time. We allowed 400 a month for living expenses, 500 for housing, and we were investing 526 a month. I'm going to suggest that's in around the 120 a week, but I'm not too sure. Anyhow, there is these are yearly forecasts. Okay, so end of year one in around 6,318 invested with a roughly 10% gain. End of year two round about 13,268, with a similar gain. There's a slight difference there. It's a little bit more than 10% because of the actually, do you know what? That is... Oh, right, okay, I see what I've done. Yeah, it's maybe not the best, that bit's maybe not the best worked out, but anyway, at the minute, we're not even at the end of year two, so we can forget about that worksheet. Let's jump straight to sheet 2, because that forecast is for, well, up to 35 years there. Basically trying to calculate roughly the amount that somebody investing a substantial part of their income, in this case just under 37%, what kind of a retirement they could afford at age 55 if they were to do 35 years service in the NHS whilst making their own investments, and with a typical annual gain to the S&P 500. But yeah, let's look at this sheet here. This is the YouTube example, the investing £120 per week in the S&P 500 for around about 8 years, starting at the start of April 2022. Average expected growth of 10% per year. So if we look back to the example here, well, compared to this time last year, or this day last year even, for the year the market is up just under 9.5%. So not quite the full 10%, but that varies because, as I say, we're looking at specific days. So in this table we've got obviously the weeks 1 to 52, and that then is this is really for the first year, so that actually should say year 1 there, because here we've got year 2 and then year 3 and so on. Okay, so at the present time we're really in year 2, I suppose, yeah. Although I'm calling it year 1, week 35, but actually it'd probably be better if I changed these titles on this, because this really, I suppose, this is year 0, if you like. This is year 1, and week 35 is here. Okay, so if we follow that line, you will see that well, a year ago we should have been in around the 4,340 portfolio value, but now as things stand we should be sitting in a portfolio value, if we're on target, of around about 11,352. Let's just flick back. So as things stand, currently sitting 11,329. So we're only, what is that? 352,329. Is it 20 quid and a little bit? 25 quid maybe? We're maybe about 25 quid away from where the forecast would indicate that we ought to be at this stage of the investment journey. If all these assumptions hold true, I'm going to suggest that's not bad, considering the sums that we're talking about. And I have to say, I don't look at this every week. This is not chosen deliberately or anything like that. But you know, the figures are there. You can feel free to pick any random video you like, see where the market was at, and compare with the forecast here. The only thing I'm not entirely sure about, to be quite honest, is whether these figures, whether I need to look at this after I do the 120 or before I do the 120. So I'm going to say this looks to be within about £25 of the forecast, but with an error of 120 plus or minus. That way I'm hedging my bets and I'm covering my ass. Guys, that is probably pretty much it for today. I don't think there's anything else to say at present. Oh, apart from just for historical reference, it was this week that I think it was Piers Morgan in the UK outed King Charles and Princess Kate, the Duchess of Wales. Princess of Wales rather, as the two people who had discussed the appearance, the skin colour of Harry and Meghan's child before his birth. Apparently that was published in the Dutch version of a book that I believe Harry was putting in the market. It is said that there were no names in the English version, and that there's some. In fact, you know what? I don't think it was Harry that was putting this out. It was a guy called Scobie or something. I'm sure you'll find it if you look for it on Google. It was quite a story. But yeah, this guy Scobie released this book. Apparently, it was said that he knew who was being referred to, but he wasn't. Allegedly, he wasn't going to make it public. There were no names in the English version of the book, but somehow, despite the fact that, as far as I'm aware, the Dutch version is supposed to be a translation from the English, somehow the names made an appearance in the Dutch version, which obviously then was recalled and pulped. And as you might say now, they might as well not have bothered, because with it having been made known in the Netherlands, well, we're all European, aren't we? We all talk, so there was no way of suppressing the information. But there you go, guys. That is just a little historical reference for you for posterity. If anybody happens to be looking back at this in the future, that is one of the stories that hit the headlines at the time. Guys, if you enjoyed this particular video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are interested in following the journey, subscribe to the channel, and I will be back next week with more. Just at this moment in time, I'm not entirely sure exactly when that's likely to be next week, but keep an eye out for your notifications. Thank you for watching today, and have a great end to your Monday.